Force, Luke.
Sometimes truth isn't good enough.
I feel the need for speed.
Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes!
Because it's their time. Their time. Up there. Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here.
I don't know nothing about no bear. Every time you mention the bear, it takes me 10 seconds to catch up to whether or not you're talking about like that TV show or the meme about women picking the bear, or if there's like an MMA fighter named the Bear or some shit. Like it's always confusing.
No, they're the number one threat to national security. They're godless killing machines.
I thought that was Man Bear Pig. It's super cereal. Anyway, I saw somebody had that old up earlier. It was like on a t-shirt or something. I was like, I should buy that on general principle because I do like me some Man Bear Pig. It is kind of funny. But I'm so sorry for your loss today, man. It hurts losing a loved one. If you want to take the floor and eulogize for a minute, you can do that. Have right at it. Good evening, sir.
Hey, what's happening, Pape? I'm glad you could join us on this hollow occasion where I say goodbye to a friend that I've had for the longest time. Back in 2016, we met, we became connected. We went everywhere together. We went to Florida. We went to Wisconsin. We went to Kentucky. Went to Ohio, South Carolina, North Carolina.
You're just naming states. You're just naming
all
states.
over Georgia. We've been together. We've drove over 200,000 miles together. But today, my insurance company gave me that my car is a total loss after a simple fender bender. My car is apparently only worth $3,000, and it was $3,600 to fix it.
I sent you the $600. Can they possibly just let you drive away with the car so you can keep it and we can fix it on our own? Can we do that?
The thing is with that, there's something, and I couldn't keep full coverage because they've already total it. So it's like that something. So I can't have the car anymore. So
now listen, if it's on a lot and you have the keys, there's ways we can get this car. We can Mission Impossible this situation. I'm not going to jump a dirt bike off a mountain for you, but I can climb a fence. I'll get my fat ass over a fence for you, dude. I can do that. I'm already dressed dark. I mean, we could do it. Let's just go.
So, well, we're gonna miss you, Abe. I called him Abe because he was a Lincoln.
Oh, that's why. I don't know how I didn't put that. I should have put that together based on the Facebook post. Like, who named their car? What dude names their car Abe? It was a Lincoln. I forgot. I thought you were talking about. I thought you had a Fusion at one point, or is that might be the other vehicle in the.
That was the Mercury Milan that helped me get the Lincoln.
That's right.
Yep. We saved China, and then we went to the Lincoln. But hats off to you, wherever car heaven you've gone to.
It's the big car compactor in the sky, dude.
That's right. Recycle her well. Recycle her well.
Yep. Now, unfortunately, Pape, Kingsley is in a secured location off the grid and not up here in New England with the rest of us. So, unless you know people off the grid, maybe you do. You seem to be quite the knowledgeable guy. But like all things, I'm sure Abe would want you to move on. Have a strong episode 48.
Yep. Tonight's for you, Abe. Tonight's for you.
FrostCast 48 dedicated to Abe Lincoln. No, I didn't say, hey, Blinken. I said, hey, Blinken. All right, I did it backwards. Damn it. I love that movie.
Yeah,
I did it backwards. Was that
that's a great segue. Role?
I did. Was that Chappelle's first role?
It was the first one I know him for.
Yeah, that was before Half Baked for sure, right? Or it had
way before. Way before.
Like, we were in junior high, I think. Oh, no, because Half Baked came out when I was in junior high. I think they might be pretty close. But anyway, that is a good segue because it's, parody of things.
And it's also humor. Robin Hood Men in Tights is made by Mel Brooks. So go ahead and pull up that. Yes, it is.
Now, so we're going off the King Z FrostCast roadmap where the thumbnail story goes second, apparently, because you called segue. I didn't do it. You did it. So that's on you. Okay. So you guys already all know we're just getting to a little bit late. We haven't really talked about Spaceballs 2 finally going to be a thing, and like not a rumored thing, Like it's for real. Mel Brooks has talked about it. He's going to be 113 years old when it starts filming. God bless him.
98 for reals.
Dude, anything over 90, you can make the 127 joke and it sticks. Like that's legit. You can do that. But God bless him because he still seems like a spry SOB. I'll give him that. I'll give him that much. Like my man's still out there talking about projects that he's involved in, that he's consulting with, people that he talks to at studios all the time. I've seen him speak. He's still
considered one of the best filmmakers and comedians of all time.
Hands down. So when this started getting traction, I think like a year ago, because the initial rumor that I remember about Spaceballs 2 is that Josh Gad, of all people, heavily involved. Is he like a Nepo baby, part of the Brooks family or something? Like what gives him
No, it was a huge influence for him to get into comedy and comedic acting. So he wanted to do one right by Mel Brooks.
Passion project. It's kind of a passion project.
So he wrote it. He wrote this one.
That doesn't excite me. That does not excite me. I'm not
him plus two other ones who are used to doing family-friendly films.
Ugh. All right, that doesn't. I mean, not that Spaceballs isn't family friendly, but one of the things, my concern is that Mel Brooks is obviously known for classic comedy that pushes the envelope of things. You can throw stereotypes in there, you can throw some not over the top, crude or vulgar language kind of thing, but having a lightsaber duel with the Scwartz ring down by your dinger could be considered crude or vulgar by certain audiences and not necessarily family friendly, but the rest of us get a laugh out of it.
Yeah, but it's not it's not dropping straight crude words or anything.
Right.
It's all innuendo. It's all talking around. It's nuanced.
It's PG-13. There's no shot it gets bumped over to rated R, even by the most strictest.
Say goodbye to your two best friends, and I don't mean the ones in the Winnebago.
Right. And the only thing weirder than that is when they crossed up and like if you put your foot up here and
and then
but that's just one of the low key like physical comedy beats of Spaceballs that was funny. But I want to see. I'm curious for Spaceballs 2 if they can push any kind of comedy envelope at all, because you and I have talked extensively on this show and offline that the vibes for things that they can do in comedy and that they can do in action, that they can typically even do in drama, aren't really what they were 10 years ago. And that everything is super sterile. Everything's always topical now. Like, they're going to make Spaceballs 2 and it's going to have a border allegory or a refugee allegory or a deportation allegory or some crap like that. And none of it will be, hey, look at the dorky white guy accountant that can't dance thing. Look at the black dude with the fro combing the desert thing. He won't make there won't be. I don't even think they'll bother pushing any like Jewish related humor. Which Mel Brooks, like, let the man do his thing.
I mean, that's what he was known for forever.
Right. Now and then I just saw out the corner of my eye. That was actually going to be my next talking point because that's actually the exciting thing there.
That is huge news right here.
Rick Moranis, who you love from the 80s from Ghostbusters and Honey, I Shrunk Literally Everything, because they think they made like 4 of those movies.
Yeah, My Blue Heaven.
Loads of stuff. Little Shop of Horrors remake, if I remember.
Little Shop of Horrors, yep.
Everybody loved this dude. He had to retire out of acting because his wife was terminally ill. It wound up passing, and he was taking care of her and then taking care of the kids. And he's been away from the game for 30 years, something like that.
He's done a little voice acting here and there, like in Brother Bear. He was the one of the voices of the Moose, the same person he was in Strange Brew with, his buddy from that movie, which kind of was his launching point. Was the other voice for the. So this is his first return to live action acting in over 30 years.
That's crazy. I'm going to be happy. That's the first thing I said.
I'm a tax attorney.
No, I'm a Ghostbuster at the end of part 2, where it looks like he's the one that shot the pink Jello mold off the Museum of Fine Arts. He didn't. Clearly, they defeated the monster inside. But I like Ghostbusters. I don't know why people. I get it's a retread of sorts, and Bill Murray not too interested. Not that I want to go off on a tangent on Ghostbusters 2, but I always liked it as a kid. The slime was cool, But I'm glad that dude's coming back. I think that's a big selling point for me. I also heard they're getting Bill Pullman and his kid that just played Sentry from Thunderbolts to be in, which I thought was kind of dope.
And he's going to be playing the son of Lone Star and Princess Vespa.
Now, is Daphne Zuniga?
She is coming back as well.
Get out of here. I hadn't heard that. All right. All right.
Yeah, let me see. I got the returning cast right here.
Okay,
All right,
so
here we go.
so
Returning
from that
cast:
list-
Mel
okay,
Brooks
yeah.
returning back as Yogurt.
Yogurt.
You got Rick Moranis coming back as Dark Helmet. Bill Pullman returning as Lone Star, and Daphne
Zuniga.
Zanita returning as
Melrose
Princess Vespa. And unfortunately, of course, we both know
John
that
Candy.
Joan Rivers and John Candy have passed away. They will not be returning
Nope.
for this.
Joan Rivers
film.
played Dot, right? The
Yep, Dot.
the C-3PO robot, Dot Matrix. Mhm.
Yep, Dot Matrix.
Now, I
And then-
wonder if they'll do a character like John, if they'll do a Mog, if they'll do somebody in the vein.
That's what I think Josh Gad's character is going to be.
Oh, you think he wrote himself in with that role? It makes sense if it's a passion project for him, and he's got kind of the portly big guy build for that.
People are speculating. It's not confirmed, but it does look like he's going to be Barf Jr.
Okay, I'm with that.
Then they have a new character named who played by Kiki Palmer, who's going to be called Destiny.
Now, Kiki Palmer's a name we've heard recently, something that we just watched, but I can't remember what. I know we just said that name recently. Maybe it was on that X-Men list that we did the other day. Was she one of the Storm potentials?
I think she was.
Yeah, you don't forget a name like Kiki real quick. It's not a name that comes up a lot. I know if
Yeah,
I've just
she's
heard
from
her name
the movie Nope.
Oh, okay, all right. She was the lead. She was the female lead of Nope. So she was the ranch owner's daughter, the one that actually does the whole Nope. Not going out there. I haven't seen that movie, but I heard the ending was really weird.
And then you have Lewis Pullman coming back as Starburst. Or introducing Lewis Pullman as Starburst. So
Candy joke gonna write itself. Good.
Yeah.
Lone Star beer, candy joke gonna write itself. Yep. I saw the meme, right? And if they don't work this, if they don't work the line into it, it's the meme. It's got Oscar Isaac from Rise of Palpatine, where he does the line, he says the thing, somehow Palpatine returned. If they don't write in the line, somehow Helmet returned, it's a giant missed opportunity to parody Star Wars. Because remember, that's what this had at its core. That's what this is. 100%, like Pape just said here. 100%. It's pure moichandising with that name.
Merchandising.
They don't have to call it the Search for More Money, although they probably should.
They
because
should.
You're always
100%
fan of quoting it. Yep.
Yeah. Because we'll
100%.
all meet again in Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
The flamethrower, the lunchbox, the doll.
Me.
And the Schwartz be with you. Yeah, I love it. But yeah, if they don't write in that one word as like the ultimate, kind of like a send up, a bit of the bird, a little bit, throwing it out there, being like, yeah, your movie was terrible. Our parody is going to be funny. I don't even know. Like when you go back and watch Spaceballs, there is a lot of Star Wars stuff that you can play up about it. Like the bad guys can't shoot. They got the lightsaber rings and other crap. They got ludicrous speed, obviously a take on hyper speed. I don't know what I would want them to rip present day from Star Wars besides how awful. Like if the new character Kiki Palmer takes flack about being a shitty character, like break the fourth wall, like Rey, that also would be hilarious to me. I'd be like, oh my god, they're really going at it. But I don't think they're not going to throw her under the bus that way. As a relative.
I don't think they're going to do it the way of a scary movie type.
Like not
parody.
A flat out send up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like that type of parody movie.
I'd like a couple of moments like that. I need a couple.
They need to bring back some of those movies. Like what do they have? They had disaster movie. They had another teen movie. They had the scary movies.
Those are coming back. Isn't that coming back this year? Didn't the Wayans get a hold of that? Didn't Marlon and who was the other one that was in it? Marlon Wayans was in it. Which one of the other ones was in it?
I don't know. There's so many Wayans brothers.
I don't remember all their names. It's been so long since I thought about those dudes. But I thought that wasn't that on our fall movie 25 preview? Like, oh my god, it's coming back and it's back in their hands because like 5 and 6 had not been, if I remember right. And then
the last good scary movie was 3.
Right. And 4 was tepid, but 5 and 6 I thought were on. Marlon and Sean. Thank you. Thank you. Marlon and Sean. Thank you, Oracle. Yeah, Sean was the one that had the sassy black girlfriend who liked to do him, which was always funny when they hinted at that. I was like, this is pretty funny. So innuendo 2026. Okay.
I'll tell you one more actor who needs to come back for Spaceballs 2, and that's Tim Russ, Lieutenant Commander Kirk from Star Trek. Because he is the one who's more known for "I'd have found shit" than he is
They
playing.
got him. I think they have
First.
him. I thought I saw the meme. They have him. He's in. I'm almost positive he's in.
Yeah.
You have to have the Oracle run a quick search, but I thought I saw that meme and it said that same thing. Somebody started it by saying they need to get that dude. And then I thought maybe it was just a fake tweet from an account with his name under it. That he was like, "Oh, I'm back," or I still ain't found shit," or something. It was something like that. So maybe it was fake. I don't know. But I thought, dude, everybody thought the same thing. I also want the commander of the Spaceballs Navy to be back. You can't. It's too fast. You can't stop that guy. When's playing?
Why are you always preparing? Just go.
Right. That guy needs to be back. He's funny. He's low key one of the funniest parts of that. I'd love to see him. Oh, there we go. See, Tim Russ coming back. Dude, I'm telling you, if they get hit, because the only two side characters I would want are literally that dude from that one line in that one scene, and the naval commander guy. Like I would want him back because he played off Rick Moranis so well that I would want him back. You know, so I would be super excited.
Her nose, not up it.
Now, we've seen this. We've seen the trailer for this. I think I don't think we watched it together, but the first trailer just came out, and we were already talking about this in our April, May, whenever it was, about movies coming forward. I don't know if I care about Naked Gun and Liam Neeson. It might be funny. I don't know.
It looks the trailer we saw when we went to the movies the other day to what did we go see? Oh, when we went to see Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
With him, with Liam Neeson, and like he's Leslie Nielsen's son.
Yeah. Which is weird in my head because Liam Neeson's 95 years old.
68.
It's the same thing.
But the thing is that they had this black guy, and they're all like, it was like their whole family's a new police squad. Like all the old police squad people, it's all their families, and they're all saying hi to their parents. And there's this black guy, and he's looking at O.J. Simpson.
Oh,
I've
seen that.
And he's like,
I've seen that. Nope. I've seen that one. I have. And Pam Anderson's in that movie too, right? Is that the love interest? Is she in there? I believe.
I don't know.
Or is she his real? They're together in real life, I think.
Liam and Pam?
And yes. Yeah.
Oh.
It's the first time
Kid Rock for him.
25 years ago, dude. Like she's 60 and had the implants out and doesn't do the makeup thing anymore or something. I don't know. She's not the Pam you remember from like 94.
I remember
she's not barbed wire.
Neeson's first wife died in a skiing accident.
Right. And he was like majorly clinically depressed for like decades after that.
Yeah.
Like not dating. Like, or publicly not dating. And
I think he even left, like he took a time off from movies, like 5 years from making movies.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he went because I remember, and I think he might have come back from that with what was that, Into the Gray, the plane crash thing where he was like,
no, his comeback was Taken.
Oh, that's right. Into the Gray was before that. That's right.
Into the Gray was after Taken, way after Taken.
It was after Taken 1, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was old. In my head, that's older for some reason. But yeah, Naked Gun. Those are some movies that I remember the first two vaguely. There was 33 and a third was the third one. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Because you had Naked Gun, Naked Gun 2.5, and Naked Gun 33 and a third.
Right.
And Naked Gun 1, the best part, other than the umpire, which when Liam Neeson passed away, ESPN did a eulogy for the umpire.
Leslie played. Passed away. Liam Neeson's alive in the new movie. Leslie Nielsen is the guy that passed away. The OG.
Well, it wouldn't be a show if I didn't mess something up.
Yeah, but usually you just mispronounce a name. Usually you get them right, but you mispronounce them. Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah. Leslie Nielsen, when he passed away, ESPN did a eulogy. To Enrico
Palazzo.
Yeah. The only umpire ever to actually use a dustbuster to dust off home plate.
This is what I'm talking about, right? Because that gag right there is something that if you told, like, just out of context, I wowould know you were talking about Naked Gun, right? That kind of comedy, that kind of physical comedy, that kind of visual gag thing. I don't think they do. Do we do that anymore? Like, where are those movies now? Who takes a shot at doing those things? Like,
who would you trust to do those type of movies today?
Literally nobody. That's what I mean. Literally nobody. Maybe Tarantino channeling somebody, or Nolan channeling.
I wouldn't let
somebody.
Tarantino around anything I want to watch.
But I mean, as a competent director that respects what's come before, It would have to be one of those guys on that level. It couldn't be just some Hollywood scrub that would take a poke at it, unless he literally McFarlane, maybe.
Yeah, McFarlane. I did see him doing it
Because he's probably got respect for what's come before.
Yeah, but also he would be more of the voices. I mean, when he even did the 10,000 Ways to Die in the West, it wasn't really much physical comedy in that.
No, it was crude AF though. that
it
was
was
on that movie,
and that had Liam Neeson in it.
It did. It also had Sarah Silverman pre Left Wing Insanity, which was weird.
And then was it Charlize Theron was the love interest in that one?
Mm-hmm. Good funny movie. I liked it. I did like me some 10,000 Ways to Die. But McFarlane, like I said, we see what he does with things like the Orville, where we know he can do parody. Like that Orville's essentially scrub Star Trek, but it's scrub Star Trek. It's like,
but what's funny is that it's meant to be that.
Right. We put the bones of Star Trek here, but then we wrapped it in a comedy. But when we need you to choke up a little bit because somebody's going away, dude, they hit all those strings. I've seen those episodes. Like they slay. Yeah.
As I was saying, like it was meant to be a parody of Star Trek and stuff like that. Then it became a slam dunk of a sci-fi show. Yep.
It became a slam dunk of everything that we're off a little off track, but just because it's connected to McFarlane, I'm going to do it. I'm going to commit to it. They became all the best parts of TNG to me, where they had a season-long arc, but they only addressed it like every third or fourth episode. And everything in between was like a standalone where they just were like, hey, what if this was a thing? What if the holodeck was addictive and we had to have an intervention for Bortus because he couldn't shut off the gay porn in the holodeck? Funny shit. Funny stuff. And then they do the whole, the Isaac's robot race. They might come into the Alpha Quadrant and nuke everything. I mean, then they get back to that. So I would think maybe McFarlane might be the guy. But I don't think he's anywhere near Spaceballs too, so just gonna have to fingers crossed.
No, he's not. He's not on the level of Mel Brooks. Yeah. But once again, Mel Brooks will not be.
No, I meant he should be doing it. Yeah. So hopefully Mel Brooks has a lot of creative, not control, but like input. Input was the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's the word I was.
Yeah, because I know he's not directing it because he couldn't do both. He's 98 years old.
119, whatever it is. But I also like. If he's allowed to give them notes to keep the tone as close to Spaceballs as they could get it. Influence is another great word for it from Pape. That's exactly what I would want. I just don't want something that doesn't feel at all like Spaceballs, other than they do like you have the graphic down there with the shattered Darth helmet thing from like the Force Awakens. And that's another reason why I think they're going that way. Because that's like a teaser picture from Force Awakens where they had the melted Vader helmet. Remember?
Yeah.
I'll finish what you started. Like that whole thing with the Kylo Ren voiceover. So they might go.
Things coming out of her nose.
It's got a Band-Aid. It's got an effing Band-Aid on the crack in the helmet. That's funny. They're saying like maybe this is in good hands, and I just wait and go in with an open mind and know it's not going to like be exactly Spaceballs, but if they hit the tone, the jokes will follow. But it needs the visuals, like you said, with the dust, but things like the Dustbuster and bringing back cameos. Can't do it without them.
The combination is 1, 2, 3, 4. What type of combination is that? That's the type of combination an idiot would have on his luggage.
Oh shit, that's the combination I have on my luggage. My all-time favorite gag in Spaceballs is, and then we'll move on, right? He said, "Oh, that guy's an asshole. They're all assholes. They're from a family of assholes." He said, "Oh shit, I'm surrounded by assholes." I love that. That's the funniest. That's like old school Police Academy humor. Now, Police Academy is a series we should probably go revisit from the 80s at one point. At least the first three.
That was a good one because it was like he's there with the gunnery sergeant. He's like, "Who made this man a gunner?" And then it's like because he's cross-eyed, and then he's like, "I did, sir. He's my cousin." And it's like, "Where's that guy?" "Asshole, sir." "I know he's an asshole, but what's his name?" "That is his major asshole." "And his cousin?" "He's an asshole too, sir. Private first class asshole."
But think about those ranks. That's the funny shit, dude. He's a major asshole. That's funny. Yeah. A first class asshole, also funny. You know what I mean? Dude, jam the radar. Funny visual gag. It's like, what's this machine?
Only one man. Yeah. Only one man would dare give me raspberry.
I know.
Lone Star. And then the camera gets in too close and hits him in the head.
Don't they have another? There's another scene in there too during one of the running battles that they have, where like the guy holding the boom mic takes a blaster and they give him the Wilhelm scream and he falls off the ladder. That's too funny. That's what I mean. That needs to be peppered in there like every 6 minutes to keep me happy with this movie, and I think they can do it. I think they can do it. It shouldn't be too hard to copy with love and respect, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he shot my hair.
Oh, dude, that's the best.
Nobody shoots my hair.
I'm pretty good for a girl. Pretty
That's
good
pretty
for
good
Rambo.
for Rambo.
Yeah, I love that. Daphne wasn't playing around. She was not playing. It was a Winnebago.
Yes, it was a Winnebago.
Hyperdrive.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I knew we should put more than $5 in.
Yep, love it. Dude, I guess it's a wait and see, but you know, if it comes straight to Netflix, actually, is this a streaming thing?
I think it's Amazon. Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Amazon owns the
right,
rights.
All right, so they're known for dumping some of these things straight to Prime Video, like the Roadhouse remake and stuff like that. So I guess we'll have to keep our back burner eye open on where it goes, dude. Well, we got a lot of mileage out of Spaceballs too. The search for more money. I'm impressed with how long we were able to keep that going. We left lots of jokes on the table, like the undoing the nose job on our Druish princess. Also pretty funny.
Yeah,
when you get right
funny.
down
She
to
doesn't
it.
look Druish.
The luggage across the desert. The one case has the giant 80s hair dryer. Dude, there's so many.
And I can't live without it.
It's so effing many. And then and the ending with the that's the take on Aliens, but it had the dude from Alien, which was the best. It actually got that actor. I can't remember his name.
Not again.
It's like, no, forget it. I won't have the special. That was the best. What did he have? The special?
Check, please.
The special. That's what I'm having. Check, please.
Hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Now, what's funny is that animatronic thingy, the toy they used, was probably better than the toy that they pulled across the floor in Alien originally. You know what I mean? At least that one had articulated leg joints and a little top hat. It had that going for it. You know what I mean? At least it had that. It just needed jazz hands. It would have been a little bit better because obviously they had Alien jazz hands in the shaft with Dallas. Funny rip on Alien.
Yeah. The Virgin alarm. It planned to go off before you do, buddy.
Now, the joke that they reused in Robin Hood Men in Tights, when Robin Hood's about to get it on with Marion and the attendant, the handmaiden, Broomhilda, says, "Oh no! Before you do it, you must go through it."
Yep. Or I blew it.
Dude, she was funny.
My favorite
we do
part
that.
of that one.
Can we do a Men in Tights segment? We
gotta just do a whole Mel block. Just get a good dose of Mel going.
Yes.
And just make everybody happy.
Yeah. And also
my favorite part from Men in Tights is Blinken. And he's like, Blinken, what are you doing up there? I'm guessing. I guess nobody's coming.
Dude, the funniest part of Men in Tights is the end of the song where he's singing to Marion and they silhouette him throwing his hands back and the sword at his side pops up.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going and going and going. And even the guys on the other side are like, "Oh my God, yeah." That shit's too funny. Amy Yazbek, total smoke show in the early 90s, by the way. Made Marion. Gorgeous. Married to John Ritter, right? Or formerly, obviously.
Formerly John Ritter,
was, yeah. I believe she was. Is she Kristen Ritter's mother?
Probably. Because I think them two were married, like they never, like it wasn't like a first or second marriage. It was.
Yeah, no, it would have been pretty. It would have been no, because Ritter would have been in probably. He was in his mid 20s or 30s for like Three's Company. That was late 70s, early 80s, right?
Yeah,
Men in Tights was like
and
years after that, and she was on Wings. She was growing up on Wings.
And he passed away in his 40s on the set of 8 Rules of Dating My Teenage Daughter.
8 Rules. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who I always forget was like Kaylee Kuiko's first show.
Yep, that's where she got her start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I miss John Ritter. He was a funny dude. He was
like everything was really good.
Problem Child. He was funny as the dad in those movies. Three's Company.
Sling Blade.
Yep. He was in a Chucky movie. He was in one of the Child's Play movies. It's like the dickhead dad town sheriff guy. I think he got my much reviled Achilles cut before he went out. Ugh, dude, Yeah, dude, exactly, dude. For me too. That I hate that. Hate that. I watch me some Terrifier shit all day long, and I probably won't flinch like at all. Or some bone tomahawk, won't flinch. You give me a good Chucky Achilles hut thrown up my mouth. I hate that.
I don't remember the Chucky one all that much, but the one that gets me is the one from Hostel, where he comes from underneath.
No, stop. Nasty. That's what I mean. There's several of these that have traumatized me. You got the Child's Play one where Baby Gage slices Herman Munster, right?
Mhm.
You got the one from Child's Play 2 where Dad's walking down the stairs, gets it in the basement. You got the one you just mentioned. We got a similar one when we were just watching Fallout the series when dude put the boot on. I almost threw up all over my living room then. Remember that? Yeah. The Oracle's freaking out behind the scenes. Oracle's about to throw up in her mouth. She knows. It was awful. It was disgusting. Can't do it. And then, of course, Hostel's right there for you, just in case you missed one.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah, dude. Anyways, moving on. No, we'll get the mail block. We'll do the mail block.
Let's go ahead and get to our title, our thumbnail story of the night, which is behind me. Welcome.
You sure?
To Jurassic movie.
It says Jura Arc. There we go. Okay. And it's actually, you got the wrong one because it's Jurassic World.
It's the original sign, bro. You always go with the original.
Yeah, dude, but we're talking about Jurassic Park 7, Jurassic World 2, Rebirth. That's actually what this is. I can't. Why is this a thing? Why are we calling this Jurassic World and not actually throwing the Rebirth in the trailer? Like they're just saying, like, have you seen these commercials? They're just like Jurassic World.
Because it's part of probably the Jurassic World timeline where they built the second part.
It is, but the official title is Jurassic World Rebirth, but they don't say the Rebirth in the trailer. And I'm like, but then you're just repeating Jurassic World. You're just saying, you're confusing the audience. You're not using the right fucking title. Call it The Thing. You know what I mean? Like the other ones are Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and Jurassic World Dominion. You don't call all them just Jurassic World. You can't call Rebirth Jurassic World. Because this isn't even part of those. This shouldn't even be Jurassic World, for Christ's sake. It should be something else.
Jurassic Island?
Big Dinos Run Amok Part 9? I don't know, man. You want to talk about a series that's run out of so much creative steam, right? How many more times can the point of one of these movies be we have to go collect dino DNA? Because I feel like I've seen that 3 times now in 2 different trilogies. I feel like this has been a thing.
Well, both trilogies kind of mirror each other because one the first 2 is the new park.
Yeah.
The second one is returning for a reason.
Yeah.
And the third one is that there's somebody else out there who's capturing dinosaurs and brings them to North America where they run amok.
Dude, I can't do it. Is this movie a capstone to a trilogy, or if it's Rebirth, I'm imagining it's the start of its own run of these films? Like that they must have more in mind with Scarlett Johansson if this is because there's no Chris Pine, there's no Bryce Dallas Howard, there's no. I mean, I'm sure they'll get Jeff.
No one
Goldblum
from
there to do
either of the old 2 movies. Maybe there might be a quick cameo shot. They'll
Goldblum. They'll either Goldblum or Sam, not Sam Elliott. What's his name?
Sam Hunt.
No, Dr. Grant, Alan Grant. What's the actor's name? Sam Neill.
Sam Neill.
I was gonna. Yeah, I already did that. See, I don't know. I've been thinking about this all day, right? Because the reason I threw the story at you is because I saw that they just downgraded the projection, right? And it started off fairly significant, and then it got lowered. And then the headline I think the specific reason I sent you the story was because the headline mentioned, I mean, it wasn't the headline, it was the first paragraph or something down there said, you know, like, bear in mind, this is like a 5-day haul because it comes out on like the 4th of July weekend. So that makes the projection even crappier for what they're expecting now. And I'm like, wow, man, this, like, aren't dinosaurs cool anymore? Like, aren't somebody's kids somewhere like dying to go see dinosaurs? Or if really we hit superhero saturation point with dinos? You know, is that where we're at?
A lot of it is speculation when you're trying to predict what people are going out. So here's the thing. July is going to be jam packed with movies. Which one are you going to spend your discretionary income on? Especially when you have to take out a personal loan to go to a movie these days.
That's a fact. And
especially if you have a family more than just a date night. But if you bring your family and you have a family of 3, family of 4, and God bless you if you have a family of 5. I don't think they'll allow you in the theater with that many, just so many people. But who are you going to use your money on? Are you going to use it on Jurassic World with Scarjo, who's not really the draw that she used to be after Black Widow movie? Or
not an action movie. Rom-com definitely.
Or are you going to use it on the new Superman? Or are you going to do it on the long-awaited Fantastic Four movie?
Now, and they all come out on a different week too, right?
Yep, but all in the same month.
Right. I was thinking that they weren't going head-to-head. I thought for a second that Jurassic Park and Superman were head-to-head in early July. But I think you said there's like a week in between. Pape just had a good comment up there that I wanted to get back to, that the franchise has entered into the why not, kind of the way Transformers did. 100% agree. They need to do something wildly different that maintains the spirit of Jurassic Park, but gives you the Bumblebee treat, because a lot of people enjoyed Bumblebee.
And I think that's what this one kind of is. This is kind of that action spin-off movie where it has more implications. Like this one is more of getting like embryo type or like stem cell type.
They're supposed to get DNA, right? Right.
Yeah.
Because they're going to do bio research. But see, this is the problem. Again, even if they haven't done that specific thing plot-wise, I feel like those kinds of things have been, those adjacent things have been done already, where they were going to go back to do dino veterinary rescue in Fallen Kingdom, and then they talked about human cloning in Dominion, and then there was, we're going to open our own park, but it's going to be super serial safe this time, guys. But then the Indominus Rex has a cloaking device and nobody fucking knew, or they forgot to close the giant fucking door to stop the dinosaur from getting out and eating shit, you know? I just feel like it's all been done. But it occurred to me, because I recently went back to the beginning, right? Picked up the OG. Got that book for like 2 years. I haven't read. I read it a long time ago. And just in reading the first 100, 150 pages, I'd love to get back to a Jurassic Park that features more emphasis on the tech and how things would work. Make it small. We talk about this all the time, man. When you go back to the beginning, you almost have to reinvent stakes to be lower so they can grow again. You got to get back to small scale, confined, dangerous, claustrophobic. I don't know how you do it with something that always started on an island, but it was an island that had electric fences and trenches and a storm that prevented escape, you know, by boat. Nobody, the National Guard wasn't coming in with a bunch of bombers and drone strikes because of the storm. You know what I mean? You were boned if you were there. That was the whole point. Nedry had to get in and out at a certain window to do things. But a lot of the book really is them talking about the sequencing and how they got things right and what they could do. And then it had that obvious ethical conundrum of just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like that whole thing, like that's all brilliant. I love that kind of stuff. But I don't know if they have that kind of wiggle room left. Like Pape again was saying, you know, they're in the whatever territory. What else can we do? When I saw the first trailer for this, I said to you, dude, the big dinosaur is a fucking dragon. Like they have to veer into, we're just making weird shit. This one can turn invisible. This one's got flame breath. This one can fly. I don't know. Like what else can they do? What this is the King Z part of the show. Give me the Jurassic World pitch that's going to make me go see this movie. Because let me just preempt this. I love Scarlett Johansson. We know that, right? I like Mahershala Ali, who should be Blade, still isn't, by the way, even though they put that movie back on the release schedule for some reason, right? And I love dinosaurs. I'm an 80s kid. Like, I'm captivated by the idea of dinosaurs. Make me a movie, dude. Go to it.
Surviving Jurassic Park.
Clarify.
So you go back to Jurassic World 3, where they're pretty much out and about, and they brought them in North America.
I hate that.
And they're running wild.
Not your idea, that movie. Yep.
But
survive in that world with them running amok. Okay, that I'd be down for, because now you're using dinosaurs as a stand-in for zombies. I like that. I do like that, because my major complaint with What was the last one? Was the last one Dominion or Fallen Kingdom? I flip them. I think
it was Fallen Kingdom.
Was it Fallen Kingdom?
So that's the one where they brought both casts together.
Yes. Yep. Which was oh my God, was that a waste? We got to go find giant locusts and shit. Okay. That was dumb. My main complaint with that movie was they tried selling you on the idea that you can just reintroduce apex predators to every biome on the planet and everything would be okay. Like you've got pterodactyls nesting in the Sears Tower, and I'm like, nope. Like the Air Force would let that happen. Like literally anybody would let that happen.
A pterodactyl versus an F-35. I mean, who doesn't want to see that?
Dude, but it'd be over in 3 seconds, like we talk about all the time with shooting down outdated planes. Pterodactyl's dead.
I think the pterodactyl would give it a run for its money.
Dude, from 30 miles away, that F-35 is activating its tracking systems and shredding it with a 30mm chain gun. It's over. Done. No.
I'm talking about close combat. Close combat.
Maybe, but can it? I mean, it could shred aircraft grade aluminum. It could. It absolutely.
Yeah.
Could.
With this and how big it is.
Okay, so a better example might be then how would it ever catch up to the F-35? You have to swap out an F-35 for a helicopter. Teams.
Helicopter doesn't stand a chance.
That's what I'm saying. But at least it makes it fair. You can have rocket pods and guns on the side and all kinds of
Hellfire missiles.
Saying, dude, you can have dudes falling off the sides of like support choppers off the gun. Dude, one of them just going ham with the minigun, and then all of a sudden the fucking.
So kind of you're going back to almost Reign of Fire.
No, dude, Reign of Fire is a dope ass movie that's criminally underrated, except for the stupid part where Matthew McConaughey jumps axe. Bro, why? Why? What was that all about? The slow motion shot for the trailer? You wanted to jump off the ramp? Yeah, dude, exactly. And that's how you play this movie. All the modern tech doesn't work. You can't track it with your sophisticated computer systems. But A10 go because you know what happens when a slug the size of a monster can hits a pterodactyl face? That's what happens.
Let's dive into an A10 real quick.
Let's do this.
If an A10 has to be at a complete dive before it can fire its main cannon, or it will stall out.
Yeah.
The A10, the reason why it looks so weird is that they built the gun first and then the plane after it.
That's the Gauss cannon, right? That the original Gauss cannon?
Yeah. What was it? 135 rounds per second of 35 millimeter explosive shells.
It's the diameter of a Red Bull of a large Red Bull can, like an energy drink can. Yeah. So maybe not the dactyls, but an Indominus Rex on the ground. Fuck yeah.
The only thing I think that would be able to outmaneuver it, because it has to do the dive and it fires would be Raptors. Because they'll be able to move around faster.
Tall and running around, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you get like 2 or 3 large dinos, like they're like the T-Rex, the Indominus Rex, or Spinosaurus running out in the open chasing some shit. You get a good gun run. Splat. Awesome. Love it. The A10 redesigned the venting in the starter continuously so the gun goes off to rinse. Oh, look at that. Look at that. An updated A10. And they should mention that right in the movie so a-holes like King Z can say, it would stall. Well, wait a minute. They redesigned that shit in the last version before they retired it, before they mothballed it.
They've been trying to get rid of A10s for years, and the Army keeps giving the Air Force money to keep it around.
God bless them. I will authorize that. When they make me president, I would authorize that spending. Dinos as zombies, I would be in for. But again, I would say you should open the movie like 28 weeks later style. I meant weeks. They should open it like that news montage from Dawn of the Dead 2004, disaster clips, power plants exploding because of nesting and dino, like the dinosaur trading cards when we were kids, all those grotesque and gruesome scenes. It should be that. And then you settle into Survivor Camp, wherever it is. Go from there. But then how do you avoid just making all the zombie movie tropes into a dino movie? Because I don't want it to be a 1-for-1. Like, what's the original? What's the curveball? Not a gimmick, but like what makes this original? What makes this interesting for me? I know it's
think that far through. I'm trying. Yeah,
I know.
I
know I ambushed you, but you're like 3 for 3 on these so far. You've done Rogue Squadron. You've done not the Fantastic Four, the Apocalypse
X-Men.
guys. You did X-Men. We've done enough. Superman and Batman. Actually, I usually pitch most of the back.
So you would have to send a team into the original park to recover the data to be able to reverse engineer that to create a weapon stronger than the dinosaurs.
All right, I like that idea. I like that we're gonna un-DNA sequence. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean that's the background that the dinos are predators. They're smarter than zombies. I get that, but I mean what I mean by how do we avoid the tropes is we're obviously there's not a virus to worry about, so people coming into the camp can't infect you kind of thing. But I also don't want it to be a people are the real monsters story either. Like
no,
one group backstabbing the other. Like I'm over that. I don't need to see that. Like a supply run that get like a necessary supply run could be a thing, but like the only place they can get petrol from Mad Max style is this rig down the road, but they have to cross Velociraptor land to get there. I don't know, something like that. Like
yeah, you have to have something like that, but you need.
I like your idea too.
I
like the unsequencing
of
thing.
Where like the dinosaurs are breaking through their security wall that they built, like the last safe haven for humans.
Yeah. Or the last safe haven for like that camp, because like I don't think because there would be like 40,000 of those camps everywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they are still animals. They're not the Terminator.
I think like
hunting them all down at the same time.
Yeah, but I would move a lot of people to like northern Canada. You know, like the Northern Territory.
It's very
you move up there where it's real cold, so the dinosaurs probably wouldn't because they're more should be cold blooded.
But now they're adapting. Yoinks! Right? Because they're not real dinos. They're DNA sequenced to be resilient to cold weather, so there can be cold weather Jurassic Park. So they can have one in New York, you see, and not just in South America. See, all right. I like that. I can work with that. I think there's a story to be told there, though. So I like that idea. But all of that to me literally sounds more, as usual, sounds more interesting to me at face value than Scarlett Johansson is a tour guide to help Mahershala Ali's team. Actually, no, he's one of her soldiers. I don't. He's not the white guy's the science guy. White guy's science geek.
Yeah, she's like the commander. He's like the sergeant major.
Right. That's what they're on the unit together. He's not. Neither of them are the scientists. They both obviously do all the action stuff. But we've done that. Like that was Jurassic Park 3. They hired the mother and father hired a tour guide to bring him to the island because the kid went down in a parasailing accident or some shit. But they were fake, they were fake mercenary teams. Or set it in the South Dinos. Dude, I would. If there was a Tubi movie called Rednecks vs. Dinosaurs, I would watch that. You put that right back
Gator
up there.
People, dinosaur people.
100%. Hey, if that movie was on Tubi, I would unironically go get a drink, pop some popcorn, and watch the hell out of that.
I'd be worried about movies on Tubi and these funny horror movies like Sharknado, because Sharknado is becoming true. If you didn't hear, there's a tornado that touched down in the ocean and was shooting baby hammerhead sharks at the people on the beach. Sharknado has happened.
I've seen those movies. That was also the premise for Shark Night. That came out in like 2011. It was the same deal. And once the scumbag locals figured out that happened, is when they started like bringing tourists for like snuff films and shit. Yeah. So nature's been at that. Nature been doing some crazy shit for a while. But dude, Sharknado should give you hope. If a room full of suits can greenlight Sharknado 8, 6? It's either 6 or 8. There's that many. And one of them involves time travel, dude. One of them involves dinos in space. There's a great white in orbit that eats the space shuttle or the ISS. I don't remember. Right. And then the last one literally is time travel and brings them back to the first movie. It's like Final Destination. It's crazy. Like they went there. They did that.
It revitalized Tara Reid's career.
Dude, Tara Reid, Vivica A. Fox, and like 7,000 other D-list celebrities because that cast grew per movie, scary movie style. It's like it was modern day scary movie. Like it's that parody send up. But it did reinvigorate a lot. What's his name? The kid from 90210 is like the lead.
Brian Austin Green.
No, the other one, the one that was bald on 90210, not Luke Perry.
The
gingery looking one.
Steve something.
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he was Steve in the show.
To look it up. Yeah, he was. He was the one. That was him. But no, it wasn't. It was Earring.
No, he was
Steve on the show. Yeah.
Paige
just said Ian's Earring. That's right. That's exactly who it is. Yeah. reinvigorated his career because I'm sure the checks and the residuals from 6 of those movies are nice. Probably keeping him from working at the food court, nothing wrong with that. I'd be okay with that. Cut me on some of them NATO residuals. I'd be okay.
Yes, probably still not enough to live in 90210, but
no.
probably.
The minute that show ended, his ass was on a train back to New Jersey. I'm sure. Fact, not opinion. But yeah, I guess it's a fingers crossed. I think Jurassic World for me. My kid asked if he could go. He's like almost 10. Kids are a lot.
Fun.
I think it'd be fun for him now. I mean, like 2 years ago, maybe not. But I mean, he likes the kid horror stuff, like what's it called, like Five Nights at Freddy's and some of that stuff. So he's good with jump scares. But I mean, a realistic looking dinosaur chomping somebody might be too much. But I think these movies have all been fairly bloodless for a while now. I don't think they don't really go for the whole dude got chomped and torn in half and thrown into the trees.
No, it isn't like what movie did we just watch recently where they were like blowing up everywhere? I forgot what. I was watching some movie.
It wasn't me watching it. I don't remember people blowing up.
Well, Lost Boys, yeah, there was that.
Oh yeah, I mean they were vampires, blowing up.
Yeah.
Although that one attack on the beach we didn't talk about, like dudes were getting bit in the skull and like bits of brains pulled out and shit. Like I was like, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
That was fairly gory.
Blade people, there was blood everywhere.
Well, Blade was awesome. That was also like 1999. My kid won't be watching Blade anytime soon. Anything in the 80s involving squids can involve people getting blown up. Oh, dude, yeah. That's coming up. Rip Quint, fact, and also the guy canoeing, or in the little rowboat, and also the skinny dipping, and the girl water skiing, and almost Mike, and almost the chief, and almost the Strikers.
So I saw a comedian once. He was talking about Jaws, and he's like, "How is there like 5 of these movies? Like, wouldn't people just know? It's like you're there, like, come on, Johnny, we're going back to the beach. No, we're not. Do you mean Mayor Susie? Susie, we're not going to the beach."
My favorite part about this series, and there's many parts of them that I enjoy, is they want me to believe, like you said, that not only is this family terrorized in the first movie, because like both of their kids almost die. The dad almost dies, like the chief of police almost dies. They have a part 2, and these kids are like sailing on the water and shit. Nobody cares. Like literally nobody cares. But that's not even the best. The best is when you get around to part 3. It's like they have figured that out. The younger brother like moves to Texas, like northern Texas. It's like as far away from the fucking water as he can get. But older brother, who's the one that almost got eaten by the fucking shark, is a marine biologist at SeaWorld. You get that? In the water with sharks and shit.
And
right?
isn't it like the family of sharks too? Like the first one was the dad, the second one was like the mother, and then the child came.
And then after this happens in part 3, the same brother from SeaWorld goes down to the Caribbean, and he's a marine biologist in the open water, right? And he keeps that job after the younger brother gets killed by a shark in Amity. I don't get it. And that's when mom says, yeah, I don't know, the shark's coming for our family. And older brother's like, dude, this shark's been blown up like 4 fucking times. Like, how do you figure it's the same shark? And the mom insists it's the same one. It knows. It killed your father. It's coming for you. I love this series, dude. It's one of my favorites. But goddamn, is part 4 bad? It is objectively, but I love it.
All right.
I love it unironically. What else do we got? We're up against our
time. So we'll save the last topic for another day. I think that could be a real fun topic to talk about. But I think this one should be kind of fun and a little bit just some whimsical stuff. I saw this online on all Facebook accounts. I saw it on Marvel Studios, where they divided up these teams. And let's go ahead and pull these teams up, show everybody. These are the teams, and you have to choose a team.
I'm gonna blow my screen up. Hold on, because this is way. All right, there we go. Okay. Now I have to pick a team, or I'm supposed to draft people from each team.
No, you're supposed to pick one of these teams, and that's your team.
Okay.
And then, like, I saw a lot of people. There was all over the place.
All right. Now wait, does black have? Because some of the words are a little small there. Black
So you
has
got-
at least Neo and Venom and Vader that I can see, right? And a Xenomorph and the Black Ranger.
And yeah, Batman, Snape, looks like
Wednesday.
Knuckles, Wednesday, and Black
No,
Panther.
I don't think that's Knuckles. That's probably Shadow.
Okay,
That's
Shadow.
probably
Then.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
If you notice that they're actually colors that they wear is what group they're in.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got that. All right. So Black Ranger really, that's just regular Ranger. The Green Ranger would have been the pick there, obviously. Green's looking like it's got some bang for the buck. Also, you got 2 Hulks on the green. As much as I dislike the She-Hulk show, there's no discrediting the fact that you got 2 Hulks and green. You got Jon Stewart down there. I'm assuming that's Jon Stewart next to She-Hulk.
Yeah, Jon Stewart. You got a witch, and
Yep.
you got an odor, and then of
Who's
course
next
you got Larry. Larry the
Who's next?
cucumber.
Who's next to Shrek on the left? In between him and the Wicked Witch. That.
Green Goblin? Godzilla. Godzilla.
Oh, dude. I think Green Team. Oh no, because Batman give it enough time to prepare. Damn it! I've fallen into my own meme trap.
I'm gonna have to say that Blue's a little overpowered because one you have Dr.
All right.
Manhattan and Genie.
Ooh. All right. Yeah. Let me review Blue. Hold up. Let me review Blue. Captain America there. Is that Superman there next to him?
Superman. Yep.
And Leonardo.
Mystique, Sonic,
Genie.
Avatar, Genie, Blue Ranger, and
Blue Ranger's the tech one too. OG Blue Ranger's the guy in the chair. So he's bringing some shit. Blue's got some punch. Now, Pape's in the chat talking about white. We got Moon Knight. We got Snoopy and Casper.
Yep,
You don't
Gandalf.
win any friends there. You got Gandalf. It looks like you got Colonel Sanders. I mean, that's good. You don't want to fight on an empty stomach.
The
That's
State Puff
important.
Marshmallow Man,
Kingpin. Yeah.
Pennywise.
Who's the black dude bottom right on Team White? I think it looks like it's a black dude. It could be a mask. I'm not sure. I can't really see. Next to
So it looks
Kingpin.
like- yeah, I'm gonna have to blow that up on mine. Hold on a
Yeah.
second.
Yep. And then also I can't. Is that the snow monster from Empire Strikes Back above him? The thing that lost the arm. That's awesome. Well, I don't need. If you can blow it up, great. If not, White's a contender just because it has Gandalf. I mean, you're talking about demigod level of power there. We don't know how that magic system works. It just does. But Gandalf's always that's always a banger. So those teams are fairly balanced. Let's take a look at the rest of these teams. So let's look at the pink team real quick. I mean, is there any magical firepower there that is worth a damn?
I know you
Pink
got a
Ranger's
beauty
good
you got a
Ranger.
beauty school dropout.
Is there a pink lady in there? Oh, that's Frenchie. Look at that.
Yeah, Frenchie. Yeah.
Nice. All right.
You got the leader of Hogwarts, when she tried to sanitize it.
Umbridge. Yeah, she sucks.
You got Princess Peach,
Peach is all right.
and you got
Got
Kirby.
Glen-
I mean, that guy's
I see Kirby.
indestructible.
You got Glinda the Good Witch. Power level unknown. I think, is that Harley Quinn? Top right.
No, it's not. I can't make out.
I see white skin and blonde hair and pink. I figured it was Harley because I don't think it's Barbie. Barbie's not in there? That's
No,
wild.
Barbie's not there.
A little surprised about that.
Red just looks like the B team.
I just wanted to point out real quick that Pate mentions that Kimberly Johnson was that pink Ranger. So yes, indeed, there is that. And I do Amy Jo Johnson probably like right up there with most 90s kids' first crush, along with like Topanga. Like there's really no getting around that. Now the red team, you were saying you got some bangers. You got Flash and Spidey. That's what you opened strong right there. You got
Red
Wanda's
Ranger,
there.
Wanda, Mario, Knuckles,
There's Knuckles.
Kool-Aid.
Dude, Raph and Hellboy. And that's Mrs. Incredible. That's a tough team.
Yeah.
That's an all-around badass team.
See, yellow was my sleeper team, all because of Dwight Schrute.
It's got Dwight, and he does have a black belt. I was reminded that he earned the black belt in the finale.
And he has
did pull it
like
off.
weapons hidden everywhere to
True.
include pepper spray.
True.
You can
Yeah,
ask
now
Roy about the
also-
pepper spray.
But I got a question. How are you going to put Scorpion on Team Yellow and not put Sub-Zero on Team Blue? Like you got to boot out that little Rainbow Fred motherfucker right there and put Sub-Zero on there. That changes the dynamic of blue team completely. They got Wolverine, they got Yellow Ranger. Now, which Yellow Ranger would that be? Trini? That looks like OG Yellow Ranger. That might be Trini. Minion, that's a wash.
Which is indestructible.
Oh no, that's Pikachu.
It's Pikachu. Okay. Detective Pikachu.
Okay, but he still has lightning power and shit, right?
Yep, and you got the Bride.
Oh, dude, yeah. Dude, the Bride and Scorpion and Dwight Schrute. I mean, Wolverine's there to back cleanup, I guess, in that one. Now, is that Bumblebee? Bottom left?
Yeah, Bumblebee, yep.
Oh, yeah, dude. I don't know. This is tough. This is tough. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't just realize that the Oracle said that's the crazy Barbie from the movie. She was the crappy female Ghostbuster from Crappy Female Ghostbusters.
Oh, yep. She was the best friend in The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Yep. All right, so yellow looking pretty good. Let's dip down to orange real quick and give that a look. All right, you're already off to a weak start with anxiety. That's a problem. But but does blue win just alone with Dr. Manhattan when you pointed out already that Team White had Gandalf? I mean, could Gandalf take both Dr. Manhattan and Genie is the question. Dr.
Manhattan should definitely take Gandalf.
One-on-one?
He can make a new parallel dimension and put him in it.
And
he could go to the moon and just sit there and wait.
Yeah, Gandalf could probably do it. Pass through fire and water to banter words with the dill-witted wit or whatever it was. Yeah, I don't know. Manhattan can speak though, so that might be the final battle. If we were doing bracketology, it might come down. Or if it was like a Mega Royal Rumble, it might actually come down to that. But let's look at the rest of Team Orange here, right? Is that Velma?
Ghost Rider, Garfield. I have no
Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, that
Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber.
That is Lloyd.
Okay. Now that's bottom row though. Bottom row, you got Thing. You got Lilu from Fifth Element. That's God level power on its own. Multipass.
You got a Pokemon.
Charizard. That's a Charizard, 100%.
Yeah. You got the Lorax.
Is that it's the Lorax? They really put the Lorax in there. They really did.
And then Michelangelo.
Orange team probably lowest rank. It's got anxiety and Velma. That's too much of a liability off the rip, right?
Well, I mean, you ready for purple?
Hold on, we didn't get it. Oh yeah, I blanked out in the middle. Now, I special mention on Team Orange though. Depending on the version of Ghost Rider they give us, there's a big fluctuation in power there. You know what I mean? You can get like godlike power of Ghost Rider out of there. So that might have to bump them up. Now, I noticed right off the bat that purple has both Ivan Ooze and the Shredder and the Joker.
Yes.
That's
and
trouble.
the Joker.
That's
but
trouble.
Then you have Teletubby, you have Barney, and then you have Grimace. And then
Wash.
Frankenberry.
And Frankenberry? Where's Frankenberry?
He's the top right.
But they also have Agatha, who, whatever you think of the show, has some magic. Makes them a competitor, but that's a lot of liabilities on this show with kitty characters. Who's the fourth person from the left on the top row?
Fourth person from the left. Ursula.
Yeah, Barney. I guess let's see. That looks like Ursula from which version though? Is it like the Dove Cameron version from like the Descendants Part 2? Because she's kind of hot, so like that works. And Pape also.
I'm thinking Little Mermaid Ursula.
Fact. That is Little Mermaid Ursula.
Oh, okay.
That's Dove Cameron's Ursula on Descendants. It's a Disney show.
Oh, okay.
Where it's all the children of the villains that go into the school. How do you not know your Disney Junior?
That went over my head.
It might not be that version. I don't know. It could be Ursula from live action from like a year ago, and I wouldn't know because that movie dumpstered. Purple's not contending. That purple's probably weaker than orange after the fact.
So like the whole middle row.
Linda Cardellini, Smoke Show.
You know, always go watch her on Hallmark. She puts out like 17 Hallmark movies a year.
She does. And I appreciate that. So yeah, middle row, probably you could scrap that whole, they're cannon fodder for the rest of this battle.
Yeah. I still think blue's overpowered though.
I mean, I don't go so far as to concede that just having Dr. Manhattan makes this whole thing moot.
But it has Genie too.
That's what I'm saying. It's the Genie factor there that throws that in. And even if you move past that, he's got Captain America for backup. And who's to the right of Captain America? Is that Superman?
Superman.
Yeah, dude, forget it. It's Team Blue. Got all your bases covered. And you got a fucking Ninja Turtle. Like, forget it. And Sonic.
So you got your scout. He to get there
Right.
and get back. You got your
Right.
two big guns with Dr. Manhattan and Genie. And then you got Cap and Superman leading the way.
Dude, and Blue Ranger and Mystique and Leonardo. I mean, you got some certified foot soldiers on your hands that can throw.
Yep.
You know, I don't think there's
And
any way out
Mystique
of
can, you know, definitely be behind enemy lines.
But again, power levels are a thing. And if you switch over to Red, you got Flash, Spider-Man, and Wanda. If they get some of their higher tier levels of power, I mean, they probably still don't reach Genie and Dr. Manhattan, but they're brawlers versus blue brawlers. That's a fight I'd watch. I would absolutely watch that. But honorable mention to Team Green for just having 2 Hulks and a Green Lantern and Shrek. That's basically 3 Hulks.
I think White. I think the big one there would be Stay Puff.
But can Stay Puff compete with Team Black with Godzilla, though? We already know Stay Puff gets roasted. Godzilla going to team up
with a proton pack.
Unregistered positron accelerator.
Yes.
Unlicensed positron accelerator. Yeah. But they also got Neo. Now, how does Neo compare to Dr. Manhattan? He's basically Dr. Manhattan.
Depends. Is he out of the Matrix or is he in the Matrix?
Well, like this dumpster fire of a fucking part 3 and part 4 showed us, it didn't matter. He could have all of his powers or none of them in or out, depending on how stupid they wanted to be.
They do have Vader too in Black.
They have Vader. And they got Vader. Snape's kind of like, Shadow is an Omega level mutant in Marvel terms, in my opinion. He punches. He's got all kinds of
and a xenomorph
firepower there. But see, a xenomorph is like you have one of them or do you have 100 of them? You know what I mean? If you got one, anything on this map kills one Xeno. You know. And then White has Colonel Sanders. I mean, he comes through with like a 12-piece hot and spicy.
He is the king of cholesterol. That's why.
Yeah, but I mean, how does the? Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, see, this is what I said. He did poof Rorschach, but Rorschach already had the good sense of mind to put all the documents in the mail to the newspaper. All that omnipotence didn't tell him to watch out for that shit, did it? You know? And there's like 10 people on this list that could do that. There's like 10 people that could do that to Rorschach on this list. Like the Red Ranger could beat the crap out of Rorschach on a good day. And he's got armor on.
If the Flash does his Mach 1 punch on any of these people, they miss the 5.
But this is what I'm saying too. Or if you put Spidey in the black costume, the symbiote costume before he just has the black one. You know what I mean? He powers up. Wanda at her Omega ass level of shit. You know,
where she says no more mutants and they all disappear.
It's saying like Omega levels of Infinity Gauntlet sans the gauntlet. You know? Yeah, I think the middle row's a wrap. You could have an honest nerd discussion about all the rest of the teams. Whoever put this together, I think, did a great job. Of like,
yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, of semi-balancing. I'm looking at
anyone who watches this segment. I really hope you come in and put some real thought into it and let us know in the comments of what you thought.
Yeah. We're gonna cut this one out for sure because the more I look at Team Yellow, I'm like, you got Wolverine, Bumblebee, the Bride, and Scorpion up there. That's pretty savage.
And let's not forget about Dwight. Dwight's no Shroud.
My man D. Shrewd has that 88. Wait, what's he say? Oh, you got an 86 Trans Am. I'll try an 88 or an 87 or whatever. That one joke with Andy. I love that. That shit. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Beats
Wando's the only one
Bears, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. Identity That's not a joke, Jim. Omega level fight between Wanda and Dr. Manhattan. Right, but does not Gandalf compete on that level? Hell, does the mask not compete on that level? Is that not the mask of a god? Does he not take on the powers of a literal god?
It's Loki.
Loki's mask? That's what I'm saying.
It's Loki's mask, yeah.
This is what I'm saying. And by pseudo extension, and I get it's tangential, somebody like Neo, he's basically a Christ figure the same way Superman is on Team Blue. You know, I don't know, but Superman's weak to magic and Dr. Man, but his reality bending magic, would it affect Superman?
If they can do creation and create kryptonite, red kryptonite, he's done.
He could that would work, but I mean, could the notion of him being undone Rorschach style, would that affect him?
I don't know.
I would just put like powdered red kryptonite right into his veins. I'd fuck him right up. at Magneto's ass with like iron dust. You know what I mean? I think he did that in one of the movies. It's pretty awesome.
And see, in
where's
Batman,
Magneto?
Magneto's not on the list.
Put Magneto on Team Purple, changes the whole fucking thing.
But Magneto wouldn't. Oh, he would be purple, or would he be red?
Classic costume. No, it's purple. Oh no, that's right. Purple's the accent color with the silver, and then the red is his base. Yeah, you're right. Oh, dude, then red team just got even nastier. Dude, if they drop Mario
or drop Kool-Aid.
I feel like Kool-Aid is their version of the Thing for the Fantastic Four. He just goes in there.
He's the breach. He's the breach.
He goes through the wall. He blows the shoulder. Boom, and that's a wrap.
That's right. Middle linebacker hit.
Dude, I'm going to go hung jury on this one. I'm going to be undecided. I know you and Paper leaning down into Team Blue. They are stacked.
They are
100% stacked. I like that. But I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I can go all in on Team Blue, but it seems like the logical choice given the supportive firepower. We're going to definitely cut this segment out and launch that in there separately because this is some good stuff.
Is good.
Pape just said Red should have Juggernaut. Yeah.
Is that really a red hood, or would he fall more in orange? It looks more orange to me. Let's see.
His OG outfit color.
I got Juggernaut right there. It's more brown and orange.
That's fair. It is fair.
So that would fall into orange. So that would definitely boost orange into the combat level.
Where do you put Spawn? Is Spawn red? Is there enough red in it? Because the
Spawn would be black.
You put Spawn on Team Black, and that adds all kinds of debate to this story.
Yeah, you drop the Xenomorph and put Spawn there.
That changes things. That would change things for me. That had to clean them glasses, King. Dude, he held up the toy, bro. Come on, Pate. It's brown. But I'm almost legally blind, and I can see brown from over here, man. We're like 1,800 miles apart. But yeah, I think we put Spawn on Team Black. That adds just enough hell magic that could maybe undo some Dr. Manhattan shit, because Spawn also has some creation power that goes down. See,
that's the thing too, because his head is on fire. That's why he's on Team Orange, but he wears a black leather. Ghost Rider.
He's a biker.
Ghost Rider to move to Team Black.
But see, and again, if I swapped out the Black Ranger and put Ghost Rider down there, if we get like full on Spirit of Vengeance Ghost Rider, like fully unleashed, that's a near Omega level threat as well. Like that dude isn't just on the Fantastic Four sometimes. You know what I mean? He doesn't just do the Midnight Suns sometimes. He deals with like cosmic level shit all the time. That could be a thing. Yeah, we gotta clip this part out. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. We'll be on the lookout for more of these things. We've gone way over our time. Pape, thank you for being here and participating so much tonight, dude. You really helped drive conversation. We do appreciate that. Don't forget to share us out to any buddies that have nerd opinions. We're down to hear them all. We promise. So I will leave it to King Z to say good night and goodbye to everybody else.
All right. Remember, today is a day of mourning. Thank you for sharing that time with me at the beginning of the show. And I want to say I will see you next time. Well, see ya.